Hey, what's up guys? My name is John and I'm an emergency medicine physician assistant. And in today's video, I'm gonna be running through the cost of PA school, how you're going to pay for PA school, and how to effectively pay off your student loans in a quick and efficient manner. At the very end of the video, I'll also talk about my student loan situation and kind of what I've been doing in regards to my PA student loans. So stay tuned, watch the whole video. I'm doing a lot of content on physician assistant related matters, wealth, finance topics. So if you like this sort of information, consider subscribing to my channel. I've been making a video or two every week. Before we get started, if you could please just take a quick millisecond, hit that like button down below. Really helps the channel out so much, really helps us get seen by more people on YouTube. So the cost of PA school, as of the time of making this video, you'll find that most PA programs for the entire 2 to 3 years that you'll be attending in terms of tuition will be somewhere between $80,000 and $120,000. Now, yes, there are programs that are $150,000 or something ridiculous like that. They do exist, and the cost of PA programs have been going up little by little every year. When I went to PA school, I went to an affordable program, and I believe the tuition for the 2 years was around $80,000. Now it's more like $93,000. The double whammy about PA school education, or even if you're going to medical school, the coursework is so rigorous, there's not really much time in the day outside of your PA school stuff to be working a full-time job or a part-time job. Say you took out $120,000 worth of loans for your PA school education, and these loans need to be paid off in 10 years. You're looking at a loan repayment of, if you take out, say, $60,000, then you're looking at a loan repayment of $600 a month. And keep in mind, loan repayment numbers are just the minimum. You're always able to put more money towards the loans to pay them off faster. So before I talk about how you're going to pay for PA school, I want to take a quick detour and talk about something else, and that is the ROI, the return on your investment. There is no greater investment than investing in yourself, investing in your education. You are your greatest asset. So consider this, for the 2 to 3 years worth of your time, the opportunity cost of that, in addition to $100,000 or $150,000 of student loan debt, you are signing yourself up for a profession which can generate $4, $5, or even $6 million in your lifetime. So that is a substantial amount of money. I mean, that is a huge return on your investment in terms of time and money put into it, right? If you could find me an investment where I could give you $100,000 and you will generate for me $4 million other than Bitcoin, tell me about it, because I want to invest in that. I mean, it's like free money at that point. So now that I illustrated why PA school is worth the cost, I'm going to tell you how you're going to pay for it. The average age of a PA student is about 26 years of age. Where are you going to get $100,000 or $120,000 to fund your PA school experience? It's one word: loans. Loans, loans, loans. The AAPA Student Association even said that most people fund their PA school education off of student loans and scholarships. Funding for PA education relies more heavily on loans than non-PA education. However, you do see that there is a small percentage, 11.2% family support. There's some support from personal income and savings. There's some scholarships and other things like that. However, the vast majority of people are funding their PA school education with loans. Typically, what people will do is take out unsubsidized graduate level Stafford loans, which do have higher interest rates. You know, we're talking 5% to 7%. And then they supplement it with Parent Plus loans or private loans. Now, I found that private loans do have better interest rates at times. However, they don't also have the same protections as the federal student loans. Look at what's going on right now. We have a global pandemic, and the federal loans are being placed on forbearance, so you don't have to pay these loans down. Meanwhile, private loans might not be in the same boat, so you lose out on some protections as a graduate student if you get private loans. How are you going to pay off your student loans? How are you even going to begin to tackle the $100,000 worth of PA school debt coupled on top of any undergraduate stuff you might still have? The AAPA published on their website a story of a PA who was able to pay off her student loans in the span of 3 years, guys, 3 years. I'll link the article in the video description down below. She was recommending things like creating a budget, not taking out new lines of credit, and minimizing your expenses like eating out. So that means once you graduate from PA school and you have this huge debt burden, don't go out and buy a new car, Don't start living in a luxury condo. Don't start spending $600 a month on eating out. It seems like common sense, and yet people still don't do it. And I've got a few other inspiring stories about PAs who are currently paying down their student loan debts. For instance, I graduated with $115,000 in debt. I currently make $100,000 in my first job. A year and a half after starting working, I've paid off $64,000. I could be done in 2 years if I were super aggressive about it. But I've also bought a house, car, and have been building up my savings and retirement fund at the same time. This other PA said, I've graduated with about $125,000 in debt total and paid it off in 2.5 years. I didn't change much about my lifestyle after graduation, and so had lots to put towards the debt. And lastly, a third PA said, I got serious about paying them off about 18 months ago. At that time, we had $110,000 in debt. Now we have $50,000 left, which will be paid off in a year. A lot of people will tell you to live frugally, which I thought I was doing, but I wasn't. My best advice to you is to get on a budgeting program like YNAB or Every Dollar. They'll make you cognizant about where your money goes and pay off your debt much faster. And I agree, this is something I've talked about in actually like 3 or 4 different videos now. I track where all of my money is going through a program called YNAB. It's You Need a Budget. If you guys want to use my referral code down below, we both get a free month of YNAB. So why not? There exists loan repayment schemes and programs out there. For instance, some people consider joining the military. Some people are looking for these loan repayment programs. Some people like me have jobs which will directly pay your student loans, and then you don't even have to put any money towards them. But long story short, even if you get a scholarship or something like that, you should realize that these options are out there, but you shouldn't bank on anything. If you're taking out these loans, you should fully expect to pay all of it off and then be pleasantly surprised when you're not doing so. My recommendations to paying off your student loans, there was a PAEA study which said that students who use the term debt talked about the financial implications of paying back that money, while those who spoke in terms of loans saw borrowing money as a more abstract way. So one of the things that you can do to help yourself is realize that you aren't just taking out loans, you are taking on debt when you are taking out these student loans, and this is money that you will need to pay back. And they saw that the older students were more focused on the price of their education than the younger students were. Avoid taking out the loans in the first place, right? Minimizing your undergrad student loans. You don't have to go to some really expensive private school or an out-of-state school and pay a premium on your undergraduate education. You could consider going to 2 years of community college and then transferring to a state school. You could stay in an in-state, a cheaper, more affordable school that's still going to give you a quality education. I mean, I've seen people coming out with $200,000 worth of undergrad student loan debt, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the same advice goes for a PA school. If you told me that Program A's total cost was $80,000 of tuition and Program B's total cost was $150,000 in tuition, I don't really care the perks about Program B. It could be the most prestigious university in the world, and I don't think that it would be worth the extra premium. I mean, you will be earning good money when you become a PA, so you should focus, pay down those loans, because once you free yourself of student loan burden, it becomes a lot easier, it becomes a lot more freeing. And as promised, I'm gonna tell you guys about my student loan situation. So I did take out a lot of loans for undergrad initially, but between the time that I was off, we paid down a lot of it, and I had a good amount of familial support doing PA school to help me with my loans and living expenses. So my loan burden is not as high as others. I have a job that's paying almost 3 times the student loan minimum payment towards my loans, so it's being paid down very quickly, and I expect these loans to vanish in the near future. I'm not really even worried about them. You guys could see my salary review video and a few other videos of mine. Even if I did have a student loan burden, I would be able to cover that with the amount of money that I've been making. So that's my situation. Hope you guys learned something from this video. I hope you feel a little empowered in regards to paying off your student loans. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel. I'm doing more PA school related videos, more finance and money related topics. You guys can check me out on Instagram. And guys, as always, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.